Bloggo's POW.
So let's get our motor running and head out to the highway. Here's 4 lesser known Saturn racing games. So first up we've got Gale Racer. Now this is a conversion of sorts of the coin-op Radmobile. Here we go. So Radmobile was one of those games which was released almost between generations. They probably could have done this on a Mega CD. It was a bit advanced maybe, and then the Saturn came out and everything had gone polygon, but there was still a Saturn version that came out. So a little out of its time, I'd say. As you can see, the draw distance isn't particularly good. Those cars jump up on you really quickly, and there's a rival, and there's Sonic the Hedgehog spinning around, hanging from a rear view mirror, which, to be honest, in this day and age, have you seen that shit? That is the preview of the Sonic movie. I wish he was still hanging from the rear view mirror, to be honest. And that's a weird thing. In Radmobile, the stages were continuous. It stops to load on this version, so a little bit breaking gameplay. So what you really have here is a traditional checkpoint racer. The rivals are there, but I don't suppose it really matters how many you overtake. I do remember being pretty good at this in the arcades, but the draw distance is killing on the Saturn, it really is. And at this rate, I am going to make the next stage, which again it's going to stop to load, which is a little annoying, but press the light button. What's the light button? Oh, there we go, you've got headlights, that's right. And there's also stages with rain as well. We have to turn windscreen wipers on. But no, this is that guy throwing beer cans at me. Oh, weird. But yeah, this is... I really like Radmobile, but this isn't a particularly good version of it. And I'm not going to make the next stage at this rate, am I? These bank curves, because of the draw distance, are so incredibly hard to judge. And then you've got cars popping up as well. It's... I don't think I'm going to make the next stage, which should be a snow stage as far as I remember, but I am. And of course it's going to load again. I've gained some mascots and a really crappy bit of CG. Lovely. Right, so press the wiper button. So which one's the wiper button? Oh, there we go. Wipers. Oh crap. On, off, on, off. But yeah. If you do want to pick up a copy, I do believe it's still ridiculously cheap if you import it from Japan. Japanese only. No PAL or US versions. I don't think there's a US version anyway. It was probably too technically unadvanced to make it out of Japan. What with Sega of America actually wanting more 3D titles than 2D titles, scaling bitmaps weren't going to cut it, and I'm not going to make the next checkpoint, am I? No, and if I don't care. Oh dear, what a shame. Yeah, so, Gale Racer, game over. What's next? So next up we've got F1 live information. So let's have a quick on Grand Prix. Ah, so this is officially licensed as Michael Schumacher, Yuki Katayama, Damon Hill, Mika Hakkinen, Jean Alesi. Oh, we've got 4 to choose from. Oh, so let's go British. Damon Hill. Manual or automatic transmission. Hockenheim, Suzuka, Monte Carlo. Oh, Monte Carlo. Oh, okay, so this will be a test of the Saturn. Again, this is an early Saturn game, so I'm not holding out much hope for that looking a lot like Monte Carlo. Well, you can fiddle with things, but I'm not going to because I don't give a shit about downforce and such stuff. So we've got different views. We do. We have 2 different views. Virtual Racing this is not. Oh god. And the live information part of this means that the your pit team are talking in your ear all the way, so that's where you can hear somebody warbling on in Japanese to Damon Hill. And I don't think Damon Hill speaks Japanese, you know, citation needed and all, but yes, this isn't actually as bad as I thought it was going to be in terms of graphics. It does look a bit like Monaco. I do recognise the layout, and there's the tunnel. But the problem is, this was seriously eclipsed by Psygnosis's Formula 1 games on the PlayStation. This feels somewhat wooden and unresponsive. As a result, the car handling isn't particularly great. It just feels a bit off. So now, I could be wrong, but I do believe this was the only Formula 1 game on the Saturn, at least from what I can remember. And I do think there was a PAL version, but obviously with all the speech stripped out, and I don't think if they put it back in. I'll have to have a check out and see if that exists or if it's a figment of my imagination. But yeah, it's... Oh dear, what happened there? It's not a particularly good racing game. Let's go back into the in-car view. And we do have only the 2 views. And the problem is I've just been playing Gale Racer, and I'm playing this like it's an arcade racing game where it's a little bit more simmy. You've got to slow down for the corners more. Thankfully, either it's not turned on or there is no damage indicator. Otherwise, I'm sure I would have written this car several thousand times already. And I mean, 14th position out of 8 laps. Oh god. Oh dear. Yeah, I mean it's not dreadful, but it's not something I'd say would be a standout game and a must play. And the graphics may be a little bit too busy to see exactly where corners are as well. Yeah, don't go rushing out to buy this. Again, Japanese version is incredibly cheap, but definitely not one to choose over the likes of the mighty Sega Rally or Daytona or something like that. So I don't think I could even bother to race 8 laps on this, to be honest. Yep, should we move along? Yeah, good idea. Good idea. So next up we have GT24 by the Masters of Average, Jalico or Jalico, I don't know, Jalico, whatever, them people. So we've got choices here: Grand Prix, 24-hour race, time attack, option, Grand Prix. Selected like this. Now I do believe this is a Model 2 board game, which Sega would license out Model 2 to third parties. I know Dead or Alive was a Model 2 game, which obviously then got converted to the PlayStation as well. And this was there was a little bit of a buzz because this was a racing game in a sort of Sega style that used obviously a Sega board, but it had the propensity to be released on other consoles should it get a home conversion. As it happened, the only home conversion came out on the Saturn anyway. But it could have been converted to things like the PlayStation and the N64. But that's interesting. Again, you've got two views. Oh, a little bit stodgy on the steering. You can nearly do some sort of drifting, but again, it's whoa, shit! No idea what happened there. Jeez, what? Shit! Oh, I'll have another bash on that, maybe on a different course, but Christ, that was... Okay, so let's try a different course. Let's try the middle course. Let's try that car. Automatic transmission. Rolling start. Okay, right, so let's see if we can do a bit better this time. Oh, yeah. So I'm saying the control is feels a little bit stodgy. It feels a bit slow. I've never played the arcade game of this, so I can't really compare it. But the Saturn, despite its best efforts, was never particularly well equipped to cover a Model 2 board in its entirety. I mean, Sega Ali Virtua Fighter 2 did very, very well. But then again, when you've got someone like Jaleco trying to sort of ape that sort of 3D style that Sega did so well, it turns up a bit bland. Again, we're finding myself running out of time. There doesn't seem to be a checkpoint per se, but I think you probably get time extension when you cross the lap. Definitely more controllable than F1 Live Information, that's for sure. And it looks nice. I do like the design of the cars and the nice colourful graphics. Do have a damage meter, I've only just noticed, so that's unusual for an arcade racer like this. Still in 12th position, and looking at the map there, I'm miles behind anybody. Checkpoint. Oh, and a bit of a time of day transition going on there. Makes everything look a bit orange. Yeah, there's probably a reason why this was forgotten in favour of better arcade races at the time. Again, Japanese release only. So, and again, probably really cheap as well if you do want to find yourself a copy of it. Yeah, I think it's a nice thing to have in the collection, a bit of a curiosity. Historically speaking, a Model 2 racer, which not made by Sega. So yeah, let's move along from this and get on to whatever's coming next. Right, and last up, we've got Grand Chaser. Now, this is has been released outside of Japan as Cyber Speedway. So it's a bit of a change of tack from the other racing games. So, story mode for one. Let's just dive straight into story mode. Oh, it actually has a story. Oh, okay, so this guy's woken up. He probably had a pretty heavy night on the tiles, getting pissed in his... Let's skip this shit. It just makes me wonder. I've never played the PAL version of this. I wonder if that actually has the story modes as well. That's unusual. I'd imagine it was probably cut out. And there's these people live in the weirdest houses, don't they? Let's skip you. And you. So, as you can see, it's one of them futuristic racers. You know, it doesn't have any weapon. Oh, no, so it does have a bullet counter at the top, so we do have some weapons, so it's not very many. And there's a bullet, so I suppose if I find someone, I can shoot at them. And, oh, that water effect's a bit naff, isn't it? Oh, and the steering's up. Oh, this is not F-Zero or Wipeout, I'll tell you that much. It's not even high octane. Oh, yeah, this feels really, really weird and wobbly. Is that like some kind of boost I'm doing? I don't know. It doesn't seem to be making any difference whatsoever. Right. Oh, I totally missed that dude. Let's shoot him again. Oh, I missed again. Oh, just well, I've overtaken him now. Now those water splashes make it really hard to see this corner. I like the music though, that's pretty good. There's another one up ahead. Can I hit him? Was he actually even there? I don't know. Hard to tell, isn't it? Right, here we go. It's the hairpin corner again. Let's see if we can take it a bit better. Oh, not too shabby. It's one of the Saturn's first releases, I seem to remember. Both domestically and on in PAL regions. Don't know if it came out in the US. Never seen a US copy, but definitely seen lots of PAL copies over the years. Didn't pick it up because I got this one for £3 from CEX, back when CEX used to do import Saturn stuff. You know, back before they started printing their own covers for shit. I imagine you probably won't pay more than £3 for a Japanese import of it these days anyway. Actually enjoying this a bit more than I thought I was going to. Now the question is should I do a follow-up video featuring good Saturn racing games? Or should I do a follow-up video featuring some more PlayStation racing games? I think I did one a while back like that, but I'm sure I could be persuaded to do another one at some point. So there we go, Grand Chaser. Or Cyber Speedway, depending on where you live. Not as bad as I really thought it was going to be. So I had played it before, but I don't really remember it. But obviously completely superseded by the arrival of Wipeout 2097 on the Saturn. Interesting though, interesting curio from another age. So did that get your motor running? Probably not, knowing those games. What Saturn games should I cover in the future? Comment below.
Yeah, subscribe or naff off.